I hear people talk about this idea that you've got to take the toxic people and put them out of your life. But from my perspective, those toxic people need Christ. Have you ever had a person in your life who just gave you grief to no end? The kind of relationship that you wish, I wish I didn't know this person. I can think of a few people like that. When I was coming to the end of my work with Eagle TV in Mongolia, most of our staff were not Christians. They were Buddhists, they were shamanists, we had a Mormon, there were a bunch of atheists, and then there were a small number of Christians that worked on the ministry side of things. Well, we had to sell the station, and one of the news anchors walked into my room, and he shut the door, and he said, he was a guy that I always had struggle with. I won't go into the details of what he did, but he did stuff that was just so mad, I want to wring his neck half the time. And he came in and he shut the door, he looked me right in the eye and he said, "You always forgave me." And, that forgiveness, forgiving him would not have been possible if God had not forgiven me first. He's still there today at that station, the anchor, many, many years later, and being very, very successful. And we wish one another well. And that's not that forgiveness where you say intellectually, okay, I forgive you, but I don't have to like you. You probably heard that kind of before. Well, God says I have to love somebody, but I don't have to like them. That's garbage, Was Jesus on the cross, forgiving the soldiers that killed him only intellectually? I don't think so. I think he meant it from his heart, the seat of our emotions. And to where I could forgive this other person from the depths of my heart and wish that other person well. Because when you really forgive, you feel it. And if you don't forgive from deep within your heart, why should we expect God to forgive us when we sin against him? When God forgives us, he feels it in his heart. And we are to be the image of God, to think what God thinks, to feel what God feels, and to do what God does. That's what it means to be in God's image. And that includes his forgiveness, forgiving like he forgives. I hear people talk about this idea that you've got to take the toxic people and put them out of your life. But from my perspective, those toxic people need Christ. And then maybe they wouldn't be so toxic anymore. Maybe. You never know. The world is filled with toxic people, as the term has come to be used. But those are the people that need to hear a testimony about who Jesus is, who need forgiveness. And that's an opportunity for you and I to express that forgiveness from our hearts. Forgive anyway, and work on that relationship, because those are the things that honor God.